Hello everyone and welcome back. Just like any other weekend, I started my day on a lazy note and went slow and steady. It just felt nice watching kids play with each other. Ruthvi is a very caring elder sister and my heart just feels full to see so much affection. I was in two minds about whether to have a second kid or not, but having siblings myself, I wanted to give the same joy to Ruthvi. In hindsight, I believe it was the best decision and now I love watching them grow together. There is always a smile on my face to seeing this sibling love. How do you treat your weekends? Slow and relaxing to revive for the next week, or super productive for the relaxed week ahead? Today, I wanted to have a mix of relaxed weekends along with doing some super important tasks to make my coming week organized, productive, and relaxed at the same time. With kids, especially a toddler, there is always uncertainty in the day. And with schools opening up, I had a few things to tackle and organize so that I and Ruthvi can be well prepared for an upcoming change. Weekends are fridge restock days, so checking it and cooking with leftovers was priority number one. I quickly made our summer special breakfast to consume all fruits. I have shared the recipe of this vegetarian French toast in my previous summer meal ideas video that I'll link in the description below. This is Ruthvi's favorite breakfast, and why won't it be? After all, it's a sweet platter at the very beginning of the day. Next, I had a few mint leaves almost getting spoiled in the fridge, so I cleaned them as well. And just to finish these never-ending herbs spoiling in the fridge, I decided to use these stalks to grow my own mint in the garden. I do this activity every year in the summers and enjoy fresh, homely mint every single day. This can even be done in a pot, but since mint is a shrub, it spreads quite a lot. So make sure you choose a bigger container to begin with. Just sticking the stalks into the soil and it's done. The sun and water will take care of the rest. By the way, here is a peek into the microgreens I tried last week. Chia seeds and wheat did really well, but flax and fenugreek seeds dried out as I sprayed less water. Lesson learned for the next time. With Ruthvi's school starting, priority number 2 was to organize everything that can help me and Ruthvi with managing her school days. The current situation was totally messed up, and so I started by doing things one by one. To make my job easier and quicker, I had a blueprint in my mind that what I wanted and why I wanted that way. With growing kids, things change so fast that even the frequency of decluttering increases. I'm glad this new change pushed me to take this action again. I started by pulling everything out. There were old course books, lots and lots of storybooks, board games, craft supplies, and lots of toys that were taking space in the almirah. To date, it was fine. But now that the schools have started, I wanted to give everything a well-thought space to make this cupboard more functional for Ruthvi and myself. A quick cleanup to all the shelves, and now it was time to place everything as decided. Once I had the blank canvas, I started by sorting the books because that is the biggest chunk of all. Look what I stumbled upon. I created this scrapbook in Rutvi's first year of school. This is still a delight to watch, which brings back so many good memories. This was a trip to Pushkar with grandparents and her cousin before COVID times. Now that the world is back to normal, I should make a new one for this summer. I always keep one on-the-go bag ready for kids. This stays in the car and I keep changing the material inside. It comes really handy to entertain kids while driving or even in restaurants while waiting for food. Now that Rutvi can do level 1 reading, I will segregate a few books that she can try to read by herself. This will keep her reading practice going and also develop her interest in self-reading. Few books makes a really good treasure, like these picture dictionaries. They are just so good to explain things in a fun way to kids. Small kids understand better with pictorial presentation, and I really like the idea of picture dictionaries. I also keep a lot of activities book for Rutvi. If you are a parent of small kid, I will say instead of printing different worksheets or just reading the course books, try a few activity books like these. They are fun, creative, and very attractive to hold kids' attention for long, unlike our conventional course books. I had the old calendar sheet that I'll reuse to line the bottommost shelf. You all know how I like reusing old stuff. Now it's time to arrange everything based on need and frequency of usage and make this cupboard more functional for everyone. On the bottommost shelf, I will place all her activity or exercise books so that I can access them daily. I have this IKEA 2-tier rack that I'll place here to make more vertical space on the shelf. Next to the shelf, I'll put her old course and home practice notebooks together with the new course books. All these books need daily sight, so this makes a perfect spot for them. I reuse these food containers to keep all small activity toys like Legos, puzzles, blocks, etc. Lastly, some books for the little one, which I'll keep in this old shoebox on the same shelf. This side of the shelf is again within her reach, so I will place all her stories and reading books along with her board games, so that this single shelf will accommodate all the fun stuff. The bottommost shelf will have a mix of both Rutvi and Dhairy's toys, which they can pull very easily. Baskets are the best toy storage for that 30-second cleanup. Moving on to the school stuff. I will use the same rack to reorganize all her art and craft supplies. One pen holder will have all her pens, pencils, markers, etc. and another old mug will be reused for all staples like glue, stapler, scissors, etc. And I'll again reuse some old kitchen containers to store other craft supplies like various decorations, pom-poms, googly eyes and whatnot. Washi tapes and ribbons will also find their place here, and everything will fit nice and tight on the single shelf. I also keep all her origami and colored craft papers stored in a single folder, and now that everything is on a single shelf, this just makes my life so much easier to find all the art and craft supplies. I also use different files to align her school worksheets, some school related documents, report cards, certificates, and a few blank sheets to place everything in order. And these I'll arrange on the above shelf for my easy access. The extra thing goes in a separate cardboard box along with the extra notebooks, and this will again be placed on the same shelf. The topmost shelf will have all the extra reading and storybooks for toy and book rotation. Okay, so the biggest task is off the back. Books and toys are well taken care of, so now it's time to reorganize kids' clothes section. Since Rutvi and Dhairya share the almirah at the moment and there is a space constraint, there were mainly two changes I wanted to make here. Number 1. I'll make a pair of her after school clothes and hang them nicely to save my time once she's back and also to make her more independent. Second, I'll shift Rutvi's party wear clothes to my almirah, and this almirah will more of a daily wear garments only. Once everything in the almirah is sorted, I'll now use the door space better. I have this IKEA hanging organizer which has a lot of sections and pockets. At the moment, I'll just use it to put school's admission information, fees receipt, yearly calendar, syllabus books list, etc. Then I'll reuse this Ziploc pouch that came with kids' garment and place her daily school timetable to stick it on the door for clear visibility. In the same Ziploc, I'll add the home timetable to manage my and her time and studies better. This DIY timetable is made out of old paper bag and has a string which can easily be pulled in and out of this pouch. Lastly, I'll place a hook to hang her ready uniform every night as it will be a part of night routine going forward. Next, I'll check her yearly calendar and block my dates on Google Calendar based on the given dates and activities from school. Exam dates, sports days, any celebration or competition days, etc. This way, I'll be able to plan things keeping her school schedule in mind and will also get timely reminders to act on time. And lastly but very important, I'll make a tiffin menu and place it on the fridge for my convenience. Along with her school menu, I'll also focus on after school menus so that I can give her variation of food on the same day, fulfilling her nutritional requirement in the best way possible. Wearing whites is not a good idea on a cleaning day. Everything was done, and with a happy soul and relaxed mind, I went ahead to make the lunch. Since I was a bit tired, I decided to go easy with the lunch. Also, as it was fridge cleaning and I wanted to use all the leftover veggies, so I decided to make bisi bele bhat. It resembles a lot like khichdi, but the taste is so unique and delicious that I could not resist the very thought of it. The recipe is quick, but the pre-preparation takes a tad bit extra time. So I chopped all available veggies and kept everything ready. Bisi bele bhat is a very healthy dish with a combination of right veggies, carbs, protein and a bomb of flavor that comes from spices. And of course, this dish comes with a story. So coming from the north, I never knew about bisi bele bhat. I first tasted it when I was working in Mumbai. A friend of mine first bought this dish made by her mom. She belonged to Andhra and explained about it without opening the dabba. So I, like any novice, said, so you are basically talking about a khichdi, right? And she just turned the dabba towards me. I had the first bite and just got swept away with all the wonderful flavors. The dish was so impressive that I couldn't hold myself from making it on my own. Few trials and the dish came out just right. The real difference in this dish is made by the great aroma of all the freshly roasted and ground spices. This entire dish has 3 steps to it. Number 1, boiling veggies with rice and dal. Number 2, making bisi bele bhat spice mix. And number 3, sauteing veggies with the spices and mixing everything together in the end. However, to make it even quicker, you can make the masala mix in advance and the process reduces to half. But I like my spice mix freshly made. Keeping an account of all these different dishes is not very easy. At times, even though we make lots of new dishes, we end up coming back to the regular ones. So I maintain a list of all my tried dishes in a diary. This list comes in very handy while meal planning and prepping. I make different categories as my choice and just scroll through this list for regular reminders. Now that the rice khichdi mix is ready, I'll take some out for dharya and mix the remaining lot into the prepared masala and give it a quick taste to adjust the seasonings. Lastly, I add some toppings of dry fruits to add more flavor and nutrition to the dish. Kids are going to school after 2 years and I had a lot of anxiety. So preparing myself for the coming days was the best way to find some peace. With things arranged and managed nicely, I can have some more time in hand for other requirements. I hope this video was helpful to parents who are sailing in the same boat. Do share your feelings in the comments below. Join me on Instagram for some daily life updates and do consider subscribing to the channel as it helps me make some new friends. Like this video to show your love and I'll see you in my next one. Until next time, stay tuned.